Today we're going to talk about this book. This is a book by William Morris. It is the Poetical Works of William Morris, Beowulf, translated by William Morris and A.J. Wyatt. 5 shillings, that's what the label says. So this is Tale of Beowulf, sometime king of the folk of the Weder Geats, translated by William Morris and A.J. Wyatt. This translation was in 1895. This particular book came out in 1904 as a reprint. And it's basically starts off with what they call an argument back then, which is basically just a few pages of synopsis. Kind of giving you the idea. I suppose if you pulled this off a bookshelf, you could then breeze through the first few pages to get an idea of what the story is about. And if it tickled your fancy, you went and you bought it. But the thing is, I think, pretty sure this kind of synopsis gives away the entire story. Now this book ends with a kind of places and people of this story, which is kind of cool. It gives you an idea of who everyone is and where everyone is and what everyone does and all that kind of shit. Even people that are referred to in like a story within the story, for the name Finn, he gets quite a lot of information on this. But let's go back to the beginning of the book and the actual text, because this is one of the hardest translations of Beowulf that I've ever had to read, because it's just okay. Context. So it's a collaborative work between William Morris and A.J. Wyatt. Now William Morris is, you know, a poet, an artist, and A.J. Wyatt is a Cambridge scholar on Old English. And so where Wyatt kind of like gave him expertise in Old English, Morris really kind of like dove into his poetic and stylistic sensibilities when it comes to the story of Beowulf. But the problem with that is that he used a lot of very elaborate and archaic language. I mean, it's great in a stylistic, artistic way. But when you're thinking about people buying this to read it, wow, it's kind of harsh. Even though this was part of like kind of the romantic movement of the arts and craft kind of like movement back in the 19th century, and William Morris was a huge part of that. It just, he stuck faithful to that Old English kind of idea, striving to remain faithful to the tone and structure of the original text. And yeah, a lot of poetic embellishments maybe. It's just hard to read. I tried. I got through this. Seamus Heaney's, I got through that so much easier than this. This was horrifying to read. Now, it did have kind of like a mixed reception. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Some people thought it was just too, I don't know, verbose, too artistic. But it did kind of give people a cheap and easy way of getting a hold of Beowulf that wasn't all about just academics. You know, it brought it to the wider kind of population because it was a fairly easy and even of the time cheap book to get a hold of. So it did contribute to kind of like the interest of medieval literature and helped cement Beowulf. Did cement Beowulf's place in English literature, I think, in the late 19th century, even though the first English translation was about 90 years before that. Fucking hell. That's insane. If you're just reading Beowulf because you're interested, this is not a translation I would bother reading. If, however, you are interested in the style of this, and I've put some clips of it on this video so you can actually get an idea of what it is, so you could actually just go back and pause it and read through this shit if you want. It's horrifying. It's, yeah. If you ever get into this, if you ever want to read this, Good luck to you. Good luck to you. So that brings me on to the second part. So obviously I'm studying Beowulf, and I bought that because I thought it would be funny. It's not, it's horrifying. But what I did do though was, I need to just find a little something on my computer. There we go, Beowulf. So yesterday I decided to ask ChatGPT to give me a curriculum for studying Beowulf. And what it did was it gave me a high school college level curriculum, which is like a 5-week curriculum. Understand historical, cultural, literal significance of Beowulf, analyze themes, characters, and literary devices of the text, connect the text to Anglo-Saxon culture and its impact on modern storytelling. There's a whole bunch of stuff like this, and yeah, I kind of like it. It's not bad. I could do this. It's a 5-week thing. Semester, right, in America. Call that a semester. Call it a term or a half term here. Then I asked it to give me something a little bit more advanced, an advanced curriculum. So then it goes into a bit more. But let me just read these goals out for you. The goals for this 5 weeks. Number 1, perform close readings of the original Old English text, if possible, and modern translations. Now, I do have Old English texts over there, so not necessarily a problem. Number 3, compare Beowulf to other literary works, both ancient and modern. Okay, seems legit so far. And number 4, explore the linguistic features and significance in the evolution of the English language. Okay, actually makes more sense that way. Let's go back to number 2 because I missed it. Analyze Beowulf through unique critical lenses. Historical, post-colonial, not really, I mean, I'm guessing that means the English language after 1066 when the Norman invasion happened. But it also wants me to look at through the critical lens of feminism from the Grendel's mother's perspective, as in Grendel was misunderstood and she was hard done by. No, she's a monster, she kills things. Grendel was not misunderstood, he killed people, tore them to pieces and ate them. It's a little hard to misinterpret that. Just saying. Anyway, I then asked it to give me scholar level curriculum for studying Beowulf. So it did that as well. It gave me another 5-week study plan, which I thought was pretty cool. Examine Beowulf's place in Old English and medieval literature. Study the Anglo-Saxon literary corpus. The Wanderer, the Seafarer, and Judith. Now, Beowulf comes in the Noel Codex, which is 5 stories, which I actually have all written down somewhere. It's Beowulf, Passion of St. Christopher, The Wonders of the East, the Letters of Alexander to Aristotle, and Judith. I do intend on also looking at those as well, because why wouldn't I? Apply advanced literary theories and interdisciplinary methodologies to Beowulf. So this is where things start to get a bit more complicated, but I'm game. And then I thought, what about a doctoral, what would you call it again? A doctoral curriculum, a doctoral, whatever, a doctorate. It's given me a 5-year curriculum whereby at the end I am giving lectures, I am producing articles for publication in journals. Of course, in order to get a doctoral degree, you need to have been published. So, sure. And the books it wants me to read, Kleiber's Beowulf, 4th edition. I have a 3rd edition. I will buy a 4th edition soon. Uri Falk's History of Old English Meter. That's again a book I will be getting soon. Mitchell Robinson's Guide to Old English. Kevin Kiernan's digital facsimile of the Beowulf manuscript. I actually have his book, and I have a link to the website where he has his digital version of it all online. I'll link that in the description below. Anglo-Saxon England, Studies of Philology. I do want to get into philology. I do have a book over there about philology, so that would be another thing. So this is, I think, where this channel is going to go. What I might do is start with the high school and college curriculum and just get on with that. So week 1, which will probably be now, I guess. I've got a few videos I want to make before I start making videos on this. So what I might just do is start this, make these videos and upload them when I don't have a video up. Learn about the Anglo-Saxon period. Understand oral tradition and the importance of Beowulf. Lecture or video on Anglo-Saxon England, 449 to 1066, including themes like heroism, loyalty, and fate. Sure. Discuss the epic as a literary form. Okay. Assign background reading on the history of the text and its significance. Okay. That's week 1. Week 2. I'm not going to get into this. This will happen as and when it happens. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk to you today. The book by William Morris. If you're just a passing reader, I would not recommend this book. If you're someone who wants to study the work, I think it's worth it. If you find a cheap version of it. And the curriculum that I got from ChatGPT. Yes, it was ChatGPT that gave me this curriculum. Because I'm not paying for a curriculum from a university. Why would I do that? That's just stupid. I can get it for free. I think that's it. Yeah.